Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you guys are back for another video. Sunday recap. We got the Sunday recap to take care of. 2 games to talk about. We have the earlier slate, as we do on Sundays, your 4 o'clock kickoff, and then your 7:30 kickoff, again, all Eastern times and stuff like that. But without further ado, we need to dive in. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about the standings, everything else when it pertains to Week 9. Okay, we need to talk our earlier game from Week 9's Sunday slate. We have Tulsa and Jacksonville. This game, man, it came down to it, man. What can you say? This potential, I'm going to get ahead of myself, potential playoff matchup if Tulsa can make it, man. Like, this was fun. This was fun, man. But let's start it here. Mark Orozco smacks a deuce through to begin the game. So Sharks already up 2-0 as the offenses start to take the field for Tulsa. Edwards has Mike Kerrigan for a first down as the Oilers get settled on their opening drive. Edwards then has an RPO keeper, has a lead blocker. He gets tackled to the Sharks' 5-yard line. It's a 1st and goal. 3rd and goal upcoming a couple plays later. Hitch route to Jermaine Smith at the goal line. Soft coverage. It allows the touchdown. Oilers, they go up 7-2. Not much going for Jacksonville until 3rd down on their first drive. Cahoon airs it to a wide-open Markel Wade. He is in the end zone for the score, 9-7. Sharks go back in front. 3rd and long for Tulsa's next drive. Jermaine Smith as the safety net picks up a 1st down catch. Another 3rd down. Edwards scrambles and is short to gain. 4th down upcoming. No sign of Bailey Hale. The offense stays out. Toss left side to Spencer Tiers. He converts it. Tulsa has had these kind of goal-to-go goal line situations and issues all year. They get down there again. They are stuffed again. 4th and goal. Edwards looks Harrington with a hitch at the goal line, and just like Smith the first time, it's another touchdown reception. So this time it works out. It converts for him. Touchdown Oilers 14-9. Pooch kickoff is recovered by Jacksonville as we head to the start of the second quarter. Jimmy Robinson with a catch over the middle for the 1st down and then rushes to the Tulsa 6. Big John McMullen brings Cahoon down for a sack. 4th down upcoming for Jacksonville. Orozco comes out for a field goal and he sneaks it inside the upright. 14-12. Oilers still lead. And then Tulsa has their drive fall apart. 3rd down, Edwards sacked by Davis and Williams for Jacksonville's defensive line. And then a 4th down reception for Smith, though. It's going to keep the Tulsa drive alive. And then Ram Sewer has a handoff. New signing, Ram Sewer for Tulsa. He's moving now. 1st and goal is the result. Ram Sewer caps it off with a touchdown. So again, these goal line issues may be solved. I'm not really sure, but either way, touchdown Tulsa 21-12. Sharks start deep in their territory by milking the clock, taking what Tulsa gives them, and picking up 1st downs as we hit the 1-minute warning. So, Jacksonville just doing exactly what they need to do, getting yards, getting chunks, doing what they need. And then the drive stalls out. 4th and long here for Jacksonville. Offense going for it. Cahoon looks, throws to Robinson, who's very well short of the line to gain. Oilers will take over on downs. And it's just kind of a safety route, dump off. Not really a dump off, but he found Robinson. It was like 8 yards short or something like that of the 1st down, man. Edwards looks for Spencer Tiers, but John Higgins almost has an interception. Smith has another catch and another 1st down. Penalty will move Tulsa back, though. 5 seconds left. Hale is out for a field goal. It's up. It's through. 24-12. Tulsa at the half. Opening the second half, Red Douglas wide open on a 3rd and long, and Cahoon finds him. Red Douglas open again, but this time it's a touchdown. I butchered this. Red Douglas is open again, but this time it's of the touchdown variety. That's what my notes say. Sharks, they score, and 24-19 is that score. They're down by 5. Oilers drive into Jacksonville territory, but a Sharks fan has a Corey Taylor mask on, and I love it. So good job on the cameraman with that. Tulsa has goal to go, but can't find the end zone. Wow. This needs to be studied. Hale knocks through a field goal, though. It's 27-19. So again, they were able to score a couple of times in that red zone, and then they stopped. I don't get it. They get down there. It's happened in multiple games this season. Robinson returns to midfield. Flag will negate it. Sharks, Cahoon, lofts deep. Billy Bowens fights to come back to it. He catches it Oh my God, and he scores with it. Flag down, but it's on Tulsa. Sharks trail by 1 now, 27-26. Next drive, TJ Edwards fires one to Trip Harrington down the sideline. It's 1st and goal again for Tulsa. Michael Moore has a tackle for a loss on Edwards, and again, this goal-to-go offense is sputtering. Linebacker lined up too closely. Tulsa will challenge it, and they win the challenge. And then wide open, Spencer Tiers, no one around him. TJ Edwards has him, so Edwards scrambles out to the right, trying to make something happen. The entire defense, the entire offense kind of goes to the right with him. And then Spencer Tiers is just in the front goal line corner. No one around him, and he throws across his body, across the field. Big no-no, a big yes. 34-26 in favor of Tulsa. Jacksonville drive goes nowhere. Red Douglas looks hurt. He goes off the field. And then Markel Wade bails out the Sharks with a great pass from Cahoon. Deep first down catch. Very, very good catch. Very, very good throw. Wade catch again to the 1 as the Sharks are knocking on the door here. And here comes Sammy Edwards. I can't remember if he's been in the game at all up to this point, but I noticed him here. And then there he goes, Sammy Edwards. He is into the end zone. It's a touchdown for the Sharks. The extra point is a fake Edwards. The holder grabs the ball, just takes off to the left side. He has the speed. He has the edge. He has 2 points. We're tied at 34. Oilers getting gains of about 5 to 6 yards as they trek to the Jacksonville side of the field, and then their drive will slowly stall out. Hale comes out for a 4th down field goal. He pushes it wide left. Sharks get a stop with 5.5 minutes to play. And then a couple Tulsa penalties help the Sharks. A shovel pass to Robinson has Jacksonville help Jacksonville. Play action pass to Bowens, another 1st down, and the Sharks are getting close to the red zone. Edwards at quarterback, up the middle he goes, and that's not TJ Edwards, that's Sammy Edwards. Up the middle he goes on a keeper, and in he goes for another score. Sharks now take the lead, 41-34. TJ Edwards looks and scrambles to midfield for Tulsa. TJ Edwards again shakes some defenders. He gets to the Jacksonville 16. Spencer Tiers dives for a pass, catches to the Jacksonville 6. It's a 1st and goal. TJ Edwards dives ahead to the 3. Ramseur is stuffed. We have 11 seconds left. Right side rush, Edwards stuffed again. This red zone goal line offense, they just cannot get it done. 6 seconds left. Edwards dumps off to Harrington. He runs right, dives. Is he in? Refs signal touchdown, but there's a flag. It's a holding on Tulsa. The touchdown won't stand. So Jacksonville's going to challenge the spot of the ball for the touchdown and see if they can end the game, because if he doesn't get in and they prove that he didn't get in, they'll decline the penalty. Game's over. However, if he is in, they will accept the penalty, which that's what happens in this case. The challenge fails. So we have one more play. So it's very smart to challenge that if you were Jacksonville. So final play of the game, Edwards looks, he has time, he throws to the end zone, passes, batted away, and the Jacksonville Sharks, they complete the comeback 41-34. All right, so stats over the face. The biggest one, 15 points in the 4th quarter. It's pretty much 15 unanswered points right there in the 4th quarter. I don't know if they had more than 15 unanswered. I'd have to go back and look at the box score and stuff like that. But regardless, Jacksonville, they complete the comeback. And what a game it was. Tulsa looked like they had it in the bag. And the Sharks just kept chipping away. They got it within 1. They tied the game with that 2-point conversion, fake field goal, or fake extra point. They got it done, man. Tulsa had opportunities, and this is something that has burned Tulsa all year, and it's something we'll probably have to talk about at a later date, but excuse me. Tulsa just cannot punch it into the end zone in the goal line situation, whether it's from the 5, from the 2, from the 1. They will, but they won't. They've proved it a couple times in this game, but more times than not, they didn't, and that's insane to think about. TJ Edwards, taking a look at our game leaders. Edwards, 19 of 30 for 153 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, accurate as much as one could be, almost 67%, so over 50%. 153, didn't turn the ball over. There are no turnovers in this game. When you look at that, it's not the best day, it's not the worst day. You wish he had a couple more completions, one of those maybe being the game-winning touchdown, something like that. I don't know, but you can't knock him for trying, man. He had guys open, he had players that were catching the ball. Jermaine Smith, you see him right there with 6 catches. Spencer Tiers had catches. Larry Harrington had catches. What can you do? You're not asking too much from them, but at the same time, the offense just needs to punch it in, man. Speaking of rushing, Caleb Ramseur. I want to call him Colton, but that's not it. Caleb Ramseur, 11 carries, 35 yards, 1 touchdown. He just got signed, so maybe that's a sign of things to come. He had the same amount of rushing yards as TJ Edwards, but I want to give him a little bit of shine because he did have the only rushing touchdown of the game, or of Tulsa's game. So, give him a little shine, give him some flowers, running the ball as much as he could. What's he gonna do? Like I said, I've harped on Tulsa not being able to run the ball when they actually outrushed Jacksonville in this one. Treminic Smith, 6 catches, 54 yards, 1 receiving touchdown. So again, kind of the favorite target when it came to TJ Edwards. I know Spencer Tears had some catches in there too, but 54 yards being a third of what he had, 6 catches being roughly a third of his completion. So Edwards was spreading the ball around, but Smith had the bulk of them, as he has practically in the entire season. To the Jacksonville side, 13 of 20 for James Cahoon, 179 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Kind of like TJ Edwards, but just a little bit more accurate, dare I say. Passed for, 60-something%? I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. A pretty good day, though. Neither guy turned the ball over. What can you do? J.B. Robinson, 8 carries for 20 yards. Kept kind of quiet in this one. He did have some catches. He did have a couple of catches in this one. So overall, all-purpose wise, probably a very good day. But in the rushing category, probably left a little bit to be desired. But Tulsa kind of stamped down the rushing game a little bit. Jacksonville only ran it 15 times. Markel Wade, 3 catches, 62 yards, and 1 touchdown. I thought he had 2 touchdowns, but I'm not sure. I could have sworn I read his name twice when I was doing the recap. But regardless, we'll go with what the Indoor Football League box score has to say. 3 catches, 62 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. Not bad. I think James Cahoon was able to spread the ball out a little bit. Billy Bowens had a couple of catches. Wade had a couple of catches. Robinson had some catches. Red Douglas had some catches. I don't remember if he got back into the game after kind of hobbling off, but regardless. Taking a look at the team stats on the right side here, 12 third downs, and he only completed 4 of them. If you're Tulsa, you're missing a couple on the 4th downs, but if this is to be true, 5 for 6 on third downs, that's not bad. And then only 5 third downs for Jacksonville. Yeah, and they were converting at a decent clip. Total yards off by 1 between the two. Jacksonville had more passing yards, but Tulsa had more rushing yards, which is kind of crazy to think about, but a little bit more accurate for Jacksonville when it comes to the passing category. And then running the ball actually almost 30 times, so maybe Tulsa wants to get going on the running category now. I'm not necessarily sure, but we'll see what the future holds. Field goals, 2 for 3 and 1 for 1, respectively, for Tulsa and Jacksonville, so hitting some of that. Penalties, got to clean this up. I say this every single time. We got to figure out how we can accurately track penalties, what team is penalized the most, and everything like that. So, really big shame when it comes to this. No turnovers that I think of or anything like that. We almost had some turnovers, but all in all, nothing bad to speak of when it comes to that. Taking a look on the defensive side here, again, on my screen, you guys don't have it. I'll have to figure out next season how I want to incorporate all of this. But for right now, 4 Tulsa, 1 sack, 4 tackles for a loss, and that's pretty much it. They don't have any pass breakups, no interceptions, no forced fumbles or fumble recoveries. Frederick Millay, 9 solo tackles, 1 assisted for 9.5 total tackles. That's more than a lot of people on this team. Alfonso Taylor next in line for Tulsa, 4 solo tackles. Anything else is kind of negligible. For Jacksonville, 5.5 tackles for a loss, 7 pass breakups, no other turnovers, no sacks, no nothing. And John Huggins and Michael Moore both combined 6 solo tackles, 7 assisted tackles, but Michael Moore had 3 tackles for a loss and a pass breakup. Not to necessarily be outdone, but a little further down, Clay Fields III had 3 solo tackles, 5 assisted tackles, half a tackle for a loss, and 3 pass breakups. So Jacksonville's defense kind of getting it done here, holding Tulsa to just 34 points and securing a comeback victory. So that's where we're going to leave it. Let's go take a look at our bet, and we've got one more recap to do after this. Moneyline, comeback victory, 4-4-4. All right, so final recap of Week 9. Bloodbath. Domination. Just annihilation. Mutilation. Whatever you want to say. My God. My God. I won't hesitate any further. Let's get into it. Maybe it's a good thing that this happened in the beginning. Yahoo broadcast showing Orlando and Fisher's game from yesterday. Alrighty. Broadcast cuts in just in time to see Kevin Macias miss a field goal on fourth down. The score is 0-0, as Arizona had a turnover on downs on their first drive, as well as Drew Powell getting the start for the Rattlers. Feed cuts back to Fisher's in Orlando, and then back to Arizona and Tucson. Just pick a game. Damn it, pick the right game. Drew Powell has a quarterback keeper, and he is gone 27 yards to the house, just in time for the game to cut back into the Rattlers and the Sugar Skulls, 7-0 in favor of Arizona. Teron Keith has a kick return touchdown, but a flag will call it back. Sugar Skulls proceed to gain a couple of yards, but bring up a 4th and 1. Taz Wilson overthrows a wide open man. That should have been a touchdown. Offsetting penalties, though, we repeat the down. Tavion Thomas has a handoff, and he does not pick up the first down. Arizona takes over on a turnover on downs, and then the Rattlers backed by penalty. No matter. A few plays later, it's Ron Brown breaking a tackle, and no one around as he cruises into pay dirt. 14-0 Arizona. Second quarter underway with Tucson picking up a first down, just trying to get back into this one. Underneath throw to Teron Keith, he gains the edge, bounces off a defender, and backs his way into the end zone. A touchdown, Sugar Skulls, 14-7. Keenan Hambrick, wide open catch as he's sitting on the turf, gets up, gets some yards after catch, but offensive pass interference on Arizona says none of that matters. Arlen Bruce hauls in a catch, spins off defenders, picks up all of those yards and more. It's a first down for the Rattlers. And then wide open, busted coverage, Arlen Bruce touchdown pass, and he just no one around him in the end zone. 21-7 Rattlers. Then Matthew Cook drops a big fat deuce. It's 23-7. Rattlers just increased their lead, man. Taz Wilson charges ahead for a first down to the Tucson 20. Rattlers penalty gives the Sugar Skulls an auto first down. Wilson to the goal line. DCS comes away with an interception, and the Rattlers they're all over them right now. Nice pass breakup for Breon Murray to prevent a touchdown on the next drive. And then Arlen Bruce has a catch on third down, dances and jukes tacklers for a first, and gets to the Tucson side of the field. Ron Brown with a gain left side gets another first down. Tempers are flaring, and Brown looks to have thrown a punch after getting shoved. Flags are thrown. He's not ejected. He's hit with an unsportsmanlike to back up Arizona in penalty yards, and then he gets a screen pass. He redeems himself as he runs ahead to the Tucson 6 and picks up a first and goal. Rafiq Abdul-Wahid is down and needs help getting off the field. Powell has Bruce cutting across, turns upfield. He scores another Arlen Bruce touchdown, 30-7 in favor of Arizona. And tack on two more. Matthew Cook again for another deuce, 32-7 in favor of Arizona and the Rattlers. Now Demisio Ewing is down on the field for Tucson as we head to the 1-minute warning, so a couple of injuries for the Sugar Skulls right now. 3 completions, Lofton with 2 of them, I believe, and the third one getting Tucson to the Arizona 1-yard line. Draylon Ellis is into the game at quarterback, throws to the end zone. Yasin McKee with an interception this time. 22 seconds left. Can the Rattlers put up more points? Drew Powell to Arlen Bruce again over the middle as he rolls out. 3 seconds left. Cook is out to try a field goal. It's no good, and we hit halftime with Arizona destroying them already. 32-7. Quarterback keeper and Taz Wilson takes it all the way down to the Arizona 6. It's a first and goal. And then a third and goal a couple of plays later. Wilson rolls right, throws low, incomplete, fourth down. Wilson then delivers a bullet to Jatavian Tolles in the end zone. It's a touchdown to Tucson on fourth and goal. Extra point is good, 32-14. Arlen Bruce has a return to midfield. And then Powell will take it himself to the Tucson 7. First and goal for the Rattlers. He runs again, spins around defenders, and dives down to the 1. Caps it off with another touchdown rush. He gets in. It's 39-14. And then Matthew Cook dropping his third deuce tonight, 41-14. Just insult to injury at this point. Journey Sloan manages to bring in a pass, but 1 yard shy of a first down. Fourth and short upcoming. Taz Wilson desperately throws to Thomas as he has enough to move the sticks. Don't know how he did it. Sloan wide open at the midfield logo, but another fourth down facing the Sugar Skulls. And pressure up the middle, pass goes into the stands, Rattlers take over on downs. And then Drew Powell does it himself, To the beginning of the final quarter, Tuxton runs all the way home. It's 48-14 in favor of Arizona. Taz Wilson's next drive, pass to flex off a helmet, falls incomplete. Almost an interception, but the next pass will be. Yasin McKee will have his second of the night. Corey Reed catches stiff arms. I'll repeat myself. Corey Reed catches, stiff arms a defender, if I can read my own notes, puts Arizona into a first and goal situation at the Tucson. Never mind. Refs say he was against the Dashers at the 20, so the stiff arm and all the cool stuff, he was pushed out of bounds. Kamari Clark wants in on the touchdown party. He gets invited to the touchdown party. He strolls in for a score. It's 55-14 in favor of the Rattlers. Deuce, number 4 for Matthew Cook, and after your 4th deuce, you have to wonder if you need to eat any more Taco Bell for the rest of your life. 57-14 in favor of Arizona. It's always going to be in favor of Arizona from here on out. Draylon Ellis is back in at quarterback for Tucson, and they gain some yards on a scramble. Rattlers stuff him on 3rd down. False start will back Tucson up even more. 4th down and long upcoming. Macias comes out for a sad field goal because at this point, why are you trotting him out for a field goal when you're down by this many? It gets shanked left into the stands to try and flip the field, glorified punt, whatever you want to call it. Reed with a catch inside the Tucson 10. Rattlers gain a 1st and goal. Powell goes in for his 4th touchdown of the evening, 64-14. Things getting chippy. Tucson getting some unsportsmanlike penalties. We hit the 1-minute warning. Ellis fumbles, ball bounces into the end zone. The offensive line for Tucson falls on it, and that's a safety. Arizona leads it 66-14, and then Powell and company, they kneel out the rest of the game, and this mercifully ends 66-14. Arizona eviscerates Tucson. All right, so I'm going to make this joke because I've made it in one of the previous recaps too. I can't remember if it was Tucson or New Mexico or anything like that, but Arizona could have played just the 2nd quarter and won the game. Arizona could have played just the 4th quarter and won this game. Arizona could have played the 1st quarter and tied this game. It's sad. And again, there's been a lot of roster turnover. There's been a lot of different quarterback play. Your offensive coordinator left, all of that kind of stuff. Tucson's up against him. And then you're dealing with a pissed-off Arizona team who had just lost to Vegas and everything like that. So they were out for blood. So much so that they were out for blood that they started their backup quarterback. That's some disrespect to me. I'm not one of those guys that really cares about that kind of stuff, but when they say that the backup quarterback is going to start against you, they're not taking the game seriously. And they destroyed you in the process. That kind of sucks. And I'm not one to start drama and stuff like that. Truly, truly not. But that kind of sucks, man. You got dunked on in this. I hate to admit it, but you did. Taz Wilson, 13 of 26, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Not bad. I mean, he was better. He was better than what he was the week prior, but 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You got to limit those mistakes. It's not like those interceptions, if he didn't have those, it's not like they would have won the game or anything, but again, you wonder what's going on with his offense. You wonder what's going on with his defense, and I don't know. I don't know where to go from here. Tucson just looks completely lost, man. Wilson is your leading rusher as well. 4 carries, 42 yards, no rushing touchdowns. He was your leading rusher. The next guy was Tavion Thomas. He ran for 10 yards. So, Journey Sloan, your leading receiver, 5 catches, 40 yards, no touchdowns. Again, Taz Wilson was able to spread the ball around. Sloan had catches. Lofton had catches. Tamarian Terry had catches. Not Tamarian Terry. It was, who was it? Who's number 5 now? Because it says Tamarian Terry here on the stat sheet, but it's not Tamarian Terry. I'm blanking on who it is. Regardless, whoever number 5 is, because it says Terry, but I know it's not. It's going to bug the hell out. Jatavian Tolles, that's who it is. I'm sorry. And then, yeah, so just, there you go, Indoor Football League stats. Fix your stuff. Drew Powell, 13 of 24, 171, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Very eerie, similar stat lines between the two. One team just managed to score 66, so they didn't really need to throw it too much. Drew Powell, he looks like MV Powell. What can you do? I mean, it's always nice to have him in your back pocket when you've got Max Myler as your starting quarterback. So I don't think anyone's going to necessarily trade for Powell, but at the same time, he's still capable of doing something here, whether it's lesser competition or not. But not a bad day. including 10 carries, 82 yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Again, he was the offense when it came to running. He had more rushing yards than Tucson did total. So, like I said, just a really, really good day at the office for him with a start. And then Arlen Bruce, I don't have his stats I don't have his stats on there because I'm stupid. So you can make fun of me and roast me. But he had 7 catches for 85 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. So he was on the receiving end of both of Drew Powell's touchdowns. And a really good day for him. He's continuing his ascent as kind of your breakout wide receiver, as Arizona needs a true wide receiver one. He is doing that really, really well. Not to say like Corey Reed and Trey Odoms, Dukes, and stuff like that aren't playing really well too, but Arlen Bruce has really broken out in the last couple of weeks. Stats for both teams on the right side here. 2 for 8 on third downs, 4 for 5 for Arizona. They didn't really convert third downs. They converted a couple fourth downs, but Tucson just up against it. Total yards 319 to 185, and it's like, again, passing yards. Arizona had almost more passing yards than Tucson did total. They had almost more rushing yards than Tucson did total. It was a bloodbath, man. The offense couldn't really do much. And I say that knowing that they kind of did a little bit. They had almost 200 total yards of offense. Some teams wish they would get 200 total yards of offense, or to that point, depending on how your offense goes. So, not for nothing, Tucson was able to move the ball. They just didn't really do much with it. 60 rushing yards to 148, or passing yards, 125 to 171. Kind of talked about it a little bit. 3 interceptions, though. 3 total interceptions. Yeah, like I said, it's not going to make that much of a difference. Maybe Tucson scores a couple more points if they don't have those interceptions. Maybe Arizona scores a little less. I don't know. But, yeah. Rushing, Arizona leads in that as well. 8.2 yards per rush. That is insane to me. 0 for 2 and 0 for 1 on field goals, and neither kicker really doing anything except Matthew Cook hitting everything from the deuce perspective. Penalties, I can kind of believe it. Turnovers, we just talked about the interceptions when it comes to that. Taking a look at the defensive stats here for both teams. For the Tucson Sugar Skulls, only 1.5 tackles for a loss, 1 fumble recovery by Tavion Thomas, which I think is his own fumble recovery, and then 5 pass breakups, 3 of them by Breon Murray. De'Amon Brooks, 4 solo tackles, 3 assisted tackles for a total of 5.5. Breon Murray, 4 solo tackles, 1 assisted tackle for 4.5. And that's pretty much where we have it. I mean, everything else is kind of negligible. Twardowski had 4.5. Jackson had 4. Yeah. Under the Arizona side, 1.5 tackles for a loss, so they didn't really necessarily get into the backfield too much, but do they really need to when, you know what I'm talking about? 3 interceptions, 2 by Yasin McKee, 1 by Carl DeCius, 4 pass breakups, again, 2 for McKee, 2 for DeCius. And then Yasin McKee, 5 solo tackles, 3 assisted, so a total of 7.5. DeCius, 4 solo tackles, 2 assisted for a total of 5. That's where you have it, man. I mean, just they shut them down. How else can you say? Like, teams are going to gain yards, but they just shut them down. And Arizona just whomped them. Just a straight whomping. And we go from there. I mean, I don't really know how. There's really nothing else to put into this. So, Arizona moving on to the Indoor Football League Cup. They got bigger fish to fry when it comes to that. And Tucson left scratching your head with a short week. And you got to go play Quad City on the road. So, let's go take a look at our bet. Take a look at the standings. We'll wrap up. We'll get out of here. Guess who has another perfect week, baby? 5 for 5. Your boy did it again. All right, standings on the screen here. We are starting to see a gap. We're starting to see a gap in the East. Fishers is up by, I don't know, a game and a half, whatever it is. I'm not a mathematician, but they're over 500. Tulsa, Quad City, and Iowa are under 500. So it's as simple as that, and you're starting to see the break from the pack. And now this isn't, it's not to say that Tulsa, Quad City, Iowa even can't go on a run here, but even from what we've seen from Fishers throughout this season, they've looked pretty good. They've got some losses. They've lost 2 in a row, but they're hoping to get back to their winning ways in the next coming weeks or so. Orlando 4-2, Jacksonville 5-1, Green Bay 7-1, and we're to the halfway point or just about in this season. We have 3 teams that have 1 loss. It's crazy to think about. In the same vein, we have 3 teams that have only 1 win or less. So there is some parity still kind of going on, but it's more or less a whole league kind of thing instead of broken up into these conferences, because you start to see a little bit of separation here in the West as well. Not nearly as stark as it is in the East, but you have a 1 game difference between San Diego and San Antonio, and then about a 1.5 game difference or so between San Antonio and Tucson. So it's like there is an opportunity there for San Antonio and Tucson to make some noise, and even a loss by San Diego, or a couple of losses by San Diego and San Antonio with a couple of wins, could get them up into that 3rd spot. Now, we'll see how that kind of goes with it, but you are starting to see a little bit of separation with those top 3 in the West as well. Not to say that San Diego can't get got, but it just kind of it kind of depends on how the rest of the season is going to go. I know that's very cliche and vague to talk about, but we have the Indoor Football League Cup. We've got teams that are getting ready to play each other when it comes to the potential of Arizona and Vegas in that championship game. We've got Orlando playing Vegas. We've got Arizona playing New Mexico. If there is a chance that New Mexico can pull an upset, it's a long shot when you just see what we were talking about with Arizona destroying Tucson. So we'll see. And then Iowa, Northern Arizona play next week. Iowa's going to get win number 2, or Arizona's going to get a win, and then we don't have a winless team in the league. Quad City and Tucson, they play each other. Someone's going to get win number 3. We'll see how it kind of goes, but we're starting to see some playoffs start to shake up a little bit. You've got Green Bay and Jacksonville, both have won 4 in a row. Vegas has won 5 in a row. San Antonio, they started 0-3. They've won 3 in a row. And then for some of these teams, like Tucson, they've lost 3 in a row. And you've seen those 2 teams flip-flop in that playoff position. So it's crazy to think about how when the season started, you have these preconceived notions. Everyone does. Some of it's come true in the first half of the season. Some of it completely wrong. And that's okay, because we still have another half of the season to go, and it could correct itself. It could fly even more off the rails. Who the hell knows? But what we do know right now is we have 3 teams with 1 loss. Green Bay looks just like they have the last couple of years. Jacksonville's looking just back to their Jacksonville ways after kind of a poopy season when they first got into the league. Orlando, they look back to their Orlando ways, and Fishers, they've lost a couple, but we'll see if they can get, for lack of a better term, back on track, because I don't see a 9-game losing streak for them, because they've already played 8 games. So Tulsa needs to get things going. Quad City needs to get things going. And then you look at the West, San Antonio, Tucson, even New Mexico, and you can throw Northern Arizona in there, because just a couple of wins from Northern Arizona and maybe a couple of losses for San Antonio, and you flip-flop that whole thing. So it's not to say teams are out, but if you don't start making some wins here soon, you will be on that outside looking in. But with that, we need to take we don't need to take a look at anything else. We just kind of need to wrap up and get out of here with that. So let's go do that. And that is it for our recap for our Sunday slate of action in Week 9. Like I mentioned in the other recap video, I already have the Week 10 preview for Friday between Tucson and Quad City out, so go ahead and take a look at that if you haven't already. I'll just keep this one short and sweet. It's late. I've already done the recaps and the previews and stuff like that, the editing and stuff like that. This is not getting out till like Friday morning, so watch it on your own accord if you want to, or don't. Subscribe, like, comment, share if you want to, or don't. That's fine. But like I said, I'll keep this short, sweet, brief. We got all of Week 10's action ahead of us. The Indoor Football League Cup is here. We're going to chat about that, obviously. We got all of the stuff, and I'm hoping I can stay on track as I get ready to head to Tulsa to watch Green Bay and the Oilers play, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff to preview and everything when it comes to that. But until then, I will catch you guys in all of those videos when all of those previews come out. I'm hoping I can get the recaps out and everything else. So until then, I'll catch you guys in those videos. See ya.